Welcome to another episode of the Fish and Coach Show. I'm Brandon Fisher. This is Coach Ratner. Who wants to par-tay?
Yeah, par-tay. We're going to have a par-tay today.
Woo-hoo.
Why are we talking about partying? Because there's something we can learn about going to parties. I remember back when I was in college, and sometimes, you have more than one party to go to at a night. You might have like 3 or maybe even 4 parties.
Wow, you were quite a partier.
Okay, yes, I was. Now, what is the reason why we go to parties?
What is the reason?
Well, there is a reason.
To have fun?
So some people are going to say, I'm going to get drunk, or I'm going to go do drugs, or I'm going to hook up, or maybe I'm going for a joyous occasion like a wedding or whatever it is. But the main reason why you go to the parties is one reason. It all comes down to one thing. The reason why you drink is so you loosen your inhibitions up because you want to form relationships.
Relationships. A party's all about relationships.
It's all about relationships. You don't think about, I'm going to parties to be fun, where you drink and dance, whatever we're going to do. But it's all about relationships. If you go to a party and you sit in the corner and drink all night and you don't talk to anyone when you go home.
How was the party? How fun was that?
It's not, even though you might have gotten drunk, whatever, and maybe you enjoyed it, but that's not really what the party's for.
Well, you could have done that in your own bedroom.
Yeah, the best parties I remember going to are where I go and I see friends I already had or met new friends and dance with big groups of people you don't know. It's really a lot of fun. It's about making relationships. So I realized that in college, when we had 3 or 4 parties to go to, that by the end of the night, we get home at like 1 or 2 in the morning, and I think to myself, why didn't I just stay at the first party? Do you know why?
Why?
Because I go to the first party, and we'd be there for 45 minutes, and we look at our watch. This is before iPhones. We look at our watch, and I'd be like, I'm dating myself. We look at our watch, it's like 45. We got to go to the next party. We got to go to the next party. And we go to the next party, and we're there for half an hour, 45 minutes. Next thing, we got to go. We got to go. Time to go to the party. We got to go to the next party. We go to the next party. And you do this all night.
And you're always trying to be, at the end of the night, it feels like you had a very full night.
You do have a full night, but you know what? One thing I'm not living with is the idea that I'm happy where I am. I love where I am at the moment. I'm always looking for something better, which can be okay in certain situations. But when you're at a party, in order to form relationships, there's one thing you need. You know what that is?
What is the thing?
Time.
Time.
You got to put time into relationships. Even if you're drinking or doing drugs, whatever you're doing, it still takes time. And when you always are looking for the next party, you're never enjoying the party that you're at.
That's key. Spending the time, investing a little bit more time into individual friendships can make them so much deeper.
You know why I always thought, if I don't go to this party, if I don't go to John's party, and Sarah's party, and Michael's party, I'm missing out on something. But then by the time I get through the night, I'm like, if I just stayed at the first party, I probably would have had a much better time.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you saw so many more people. It seems like by going to more parties, you're making more relationships. But really, they all just stay on the surface level, and you don't go deep.
That is so true. You walk in, because like when you go to a party, the first 5-10 minutes, what are you doing? You're just kind of like standing in the corner, or it's hard to like open up because it takes time in order to open yourself up to talk to people. You have to get comfortable with them. You see this person, you see a girl you like, whatever, or a boy you like. And eventually, after 10, 20 minutes and you've had a beer or something, then you feel like you're brave enough to go talk to someone. Next thing you know, you're forming a relationship.
And then 10 minutes later, it's time to go to the next party.
And then suddenly, you're like,
because how long does it take to leave a party? It takes as long as it takes
especially
another 10 minutes.
Especially if you go with like 5 or 6 guys, like it takes forever to leave. I host at my house on Friday nights. I host a lot of meals, dinners and stuff, and sometimes we have like 10 guys, and I walk people out of the house, and it's like 11 o'clock at night, and we get to the streets, and it takes another half an hour for them to leave, because we're sitting there schmoozing and schmoozing and schmoozing, because it was one party, not
one party. The relationships got so deep.
Yep. So you mentioned before that when you're in a party, sometimes it's good if you go to different rooms.
Right. I was saying, I heard a relationship tip that when you're on a date, the more parties, the more rooms you go to, the more exciting it feels, the more exciting and dynamic it feels like the date was, or the party itself.
Do you mean like when you go on a date and like you go to a restaurant and then you go to a bar, or you go to a movie, or you go to a show, or you take a walk in the park? You're talking like in a date situation. It seems like in a date situation, that does make the date more fun.
It makes the date a lot more exciting.
Why is that?
You're building the relationship in different environments. So at the end of an hour date, that maybe you had 3 setting shifts. Yeah. It could feel as exciting or dynamic as a 3-hour date where you were in one place the whole time.
I used to laugh, I don't watch them anymore, but they have these dating shows, and they set up these dates in these exotic places, and they have, Sting to come sing, or these famous bands, and they have these famous chefs. It's like a fairy tale. These dates are like fairy tales. I'm like, what's going to happen when they get into the real life?
Right.
No one lives like that. No one's taking helicopters on their dates. No one's having private concerts or having these private dinners on the verandas of these fancy hotels in Hawaii or like wherever they do it. I'm like, this is not reality.
Most people also don't have 12 other guys waiting right outside the room for you.
It's called reality TV,
right.
But it's not reality. It's
No.
not reality TV because this is not how dates go in real life.
It's definitely not.
No.
But what they did get is that the change in scenery does add a dynamic and depth.
And
That's
it's
the
great.
one thing that...
And it's great. I mean, listen, I would love for all my dates to be on in Hawaii flying helicopters and
I'd love for my whole life to be.
It'd be great, but it's not reality. And then these couples who, I'm trying to think of the names of the shows, and the Bachelor, Bachelorette, and that's what I'm thinking of, and they, decide to get married, whatever. And I don't know the statistics. I've been out of this, but I don't think it's very good. I mean,
I don't think
did
so.
you hear? You hear things like
It's rather disappointing
because they get out of this reality, this fake reality, and then they get into real reality. And like, maybe she's not what I thought she was. Maybe he's not what I thought he was.
Right, and what it's showing is that people are just not comfortable with where they are. They think they have to be in this fantastical place in order to feel like they're in this party mode where they can be impressive. The other person's impressive. There's so much fun. They just don't love where they are.
You got to love where you are in life.
You have to love where you are.
Wherever you are. And that means sometimes we've talked about challenges, and sometimes we're going through challenging situations. And it's hard to say, I love where I am. But really, the challenge is there to make you grow as a person. So when you go to a party, that's obviously if you go to the first party, it's really bad. Then, okay, I understand you want to go to a second party. That's fine. But generally, the longer you stay, the longer you put the time in.
The more you invest into that party and that experience.
The more you invest into any
Person.
relationship, the more you invest into any relationship, the better it becomes.
Absolutely. The more resources you put in.
And we're actually going to talk a lot about this when we get into some of our relationship podcasts because really people don't put time into their relationship and they think it's supposed to be beautiful and wonderful. And they think, it's really funny when you watch Disney movies. What's the last scene in every romantic movie? Or any romantic comedy, what's the last scene?
True Love's kiss?
It's a kiss or usually the wedding, right? Not
right.
usually, but many times it's the wedding. How come they never show 20, 30, 40 years later?
The happily ever after.
Why not? Do you know why never? Because it wouldn't be a romantic comedy or a Disney movie. It'd be a murder mystery, right? Unfortunately, that's the case because people don't realize you have to put time into a relationship. And if you want to go to a party and really enjoy yourself, and this is why introverts don't like parties, and because they know in order to have a good time, they have to actually put themselves out there and talk to people. And introverts are the ones who and I have this amazing idea that I use with my family and my friends is that, we're going to go to this party. You don't want to go, whatever. I go, we can leave anytime. And the idea that we can leave anytime is a way to go somewhere knowing you're not stuck. It's not like you're going to an opera where it's 4 hours and you got to stay the whole time, right?
Right.
And the idea that you can leave anytime means you go to a party. If it's not very good, you go home.
So you don't have to lock yourself into the party.
You're not locked
You're
into
allowed to leave.
You're not locked into anything.
But just be happy with where you are. Love where you are. As they say, love the one you're with.
Love the one you're with.
Exactly. So who wants to party?
That's
Spend the
Par-tay.
time, enjoy where you are. Love where you are. Love the one you're with. There's nowhere to go. Thanks for joining us. This is the Fish and Coach Show. I'm Brandon Fisher. This is Coach Ratner.
I'll see you next time.